Coming up on the next episode. Good Wednesday evening to you all. YouTube. It is 7:22 now in the PM. As you can see before you on the bench, I have been busy. I got together with Bob this afternoon and we kind of hashed this little design here out. Very happy with the way it turned out. Now this is the bottom side. This is the side that will actually go against the wood on the bench for the as I showed you earlier where they were sitting. One single screw is all that's necessary to hold it in. Let me turn it over here and we'll see what it looks like. But there you can see I've got a little divider in between there just for a little bit of safety, not a lot, but it's just some safety. And that's all you really need. And like I say, you turn it over, that's what it looks like on this side. And you can see it will move a little bit, but considering it's going to be flat up against the board, it's not going to move a lot. And even if it does move, it's not going to come apart with the one single hold down screw on there. So you know it is it will work just fine, and this will feed in like I want. I left me a little there for that for the cord to go through, as you can see. So that's what that's for. I may have to enlarge it just a little bit, but that's not a big deal either. I've already had to do a little bit of work on this because I forgot to make an allowance for these middle pieces. Let me take this off real quick. You see these stick out here, and I put that middle piece in there. I forgot to allow for that, so I had to cut that down a little bit to get it to where it would fit. But it does fit real good now and works great. Yes, great. Like I say, there's there's a little flex to it, but again, once those are tight in there, the nuts on the screws and nuts on the holds the spades or the on the AC part, the blades I should say, I guess, together, that should stay just about perfectly, I think, because if you look down, if I hold down on that, you can see it will come up, move a little bit, but not enough to go anywhere. It's especially with it tied to the other one. That's the beauty of the whole thing, is the way it's all tied together there with those middle pieces. Like I say, if I just put pressure there, it will be in a place where it can't move this way, so it should be just fine. And I'm hoping that it will be. Like I say, that's the way I'm starting it off anyway. So I just want to get this out of the way, get it printed, so I can go ahead and cut these cords like I want to. What I'll probably do is just cut the ends off of them and drill some holes here and here, and let that come through there, and then I can go ahead and give me an estimate of what I need for my wiring as far as how far over it needs to come, things like that. But again, I'm very happy with the way that fits in there, and I think it's going to be perfect, just perfect. So that's about it. So all right, we'll bring you back when I got more to share. All right, well, just a little bit of an additional here to this. I took this block of MDF board, as you can see there. It had a bunch of screw holes in it. I think this is the one I used to put my soldering station up on the board. Pretty sure that's the one it was. Anyway, you can see I've got screwed in there one screw. That's all I need is one screw. So you can see that doesn't come loose at all. I mean, any way you want to shake it, it stays right where it's supposed to be. And that will be fine because there won't be obviously any shaking. It will just be on the board just like it is right now, only according it will be up there on the pegboard or under the pegboard. But other than that, this thing is about as perfect as you can get. I was very surprised. I did the design in Tinkercad, and I've gotten pretty good at estimating or guesstimating, I guess is better said, how much extra or less to put in depending on shrinkage, things like that. And I've noticed if I guesstimate a little bit less, or I should say more, in other words, if I take a little bit, if the measurement is 30 centimeters or 30 millimeters, and I give it 31, I'm usually a lot better off than if I try to put it closer to it. That's what I'm saying. I always try to go a little higher than what it actually measures, and so that way it will stay there. And like I say, it does move a little bit side to side, but these two things here will be going through that upright on that for the thing, and it won't allow very much movement at all if it did. Plus, I don't have that all the way tight. I just tightened it up a little bit to see what it would do. And again, you can see there's just not much movement there. A little bit, but not much. And I don't have the middle screws tight either. That's another thing that needs to be tightened down. So once everything is good and tight, this thing won't hardly move at all. So this is good. Very, very happy with that. Very happy indeed. I probably should do a test of these wall warts and make sure they work, because they were awfully cheap. As you saw, I thought I paid $4 a piece for them, but they were actually combined. Everything was $3.98 for both of them. So you know that was a pretty good deal. I think they were $1.86 a piece or something like that. So not bad at all for 9-volt 1 amp. So you know, like I say. You really don't need anything, you know. I wouldn't worry too much about it being clean or whatever, because you really don't need too much for lights, is all it basically is. And I think those meters will work AC or DC input, so this will work just fine. And like I say, I'm very happy with that. Very happy indeed. This is going to allow me to get my task done faster over here than I had initially thought. I thought this would take a little while to come up with a design and get it all in place, but this is so much simpler. I mean, it's just so easy. I can sit these two in there where they go, put this over the top of it, screw it down, it's done, and that's it. So that is going to be easy to do, and very, very pleased with that again. So, all right, we'll be back later. Good afternoon, YouTube. It is Thursday. It is 2:02 now in the PM. I am at the bench, as you can see clearly. I do have that mounted, as you can also see. I do have a plug in here, and I do have some wires running here and there, and you see 2 clip leads here going to the Variac. That is the power for the Variac. This is not safe, I know. Don't have to tell me. I just wanted to try it before I go to all the trouble of putting it back together. It is all connected to the Variac. Now, the isolation transformer part has not been connected yet. That's the next thing, or last thing I've got to do. Then I can put that back in and make sure, you know, as long as everything's working. So what we're going to do is basically turn on the Variac, and it's safe as long as nothing's touched. And see there what we got. Oh, there we go. Looky there. As you can see, I'm going to turn this around just a little bit more this way. But I'm going to crank up the voltage just a little bit. Oh, looky there. Goes right up. Isn't that lovely? Of course, there's no amperage being drawn. We don't have anything plugged in. But we could if we needed to. Again, the top one, the variable, is the one that's live. I did some rewiring on that as well, and made that a little bit safer inside there. There were some frayed wires and such as that. You can see on the AC adapters, both of the lights are on, and that's working well. That is in there as solid as a rock, and I'm really tickled the way that worked. And so no problems there. The wires are routed through the, as I said they would be, into there, and they power the meters. And that's what the whole idea was to power the meters. So like I say, the last thing I have to do here, and let me turn this off and unplug this. I know I said it was safe, but it's safe as long as I don't forget. Once I forget, then it's not so safe. So, you know, that's how that works. But anywho, this is again just a test to see that it is working, and it is. Now, like I started to say, I have to add the wiring for the isolation transformer. And I've got to drill one more hole through here to add those wires to come over, and that will come over underneath the Variac and go to the end of the bench. I haven't decided how long I've got to make it yet, but I may just cut the wires off of the one that's on there now and resplice them in once I get everything lined out. In other words, it's easier to put it on this end and come out this way and do the wiring for the actual isolation transformer out here than it would be to try to make it the right correct size and you know, feed it through the holes, because the ends alone on that are difficult to of course I could just feed that through there. I never thought about it. I may try that and just put some new ends on it. That may be the way I go. So alright, well, let me see what that happens, and I'll bring you back and show you the results of that. I'm back once more. Again, it is 6:30 and now in the PM on this Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. I have a couple more dealies. I'll be like Greg, dealies. A couple more dealies going on here. I have this working. I know you can't see it work because it's just a output, but you can see the phone. I'll show you there, but it is charging, as you can see there, the indication right there. So that's plugged in and that's working. That is all hooked up over here. Let me take you over here and show you this. This plugs in obviously here in the front. Obviously that's not where it's going to be, but it is for right now. On the back side I had to do some extension here on this to get this all worked out. But that wire runs over behind the, slightly behind here underneath this. And you can probably see it there coming along through there and going right to there. And then it, well, I guess I should show you instead of doing what I was doing. But anyway, here it goes right through here and goes into the box there. And once it does that, then it comes out where it's plugged in. So that's working. The rest of that is hooked up, and I've tested that once. I think what I'm going to do is add a cord to this input here for it, and so I can plug it in right here if I want to use it. That lets me, you know, use it until I get time to wire the bench up like I want it. I won't put anything drastic in there as far as you know, going to a lot of trouble like that, but I will go ahead and make it safe. But other than that, that's about it. So that's all I've got left to do, and this will be ready to use. And again, very happy about that because I want to use it. I want to make use of it. I want to do some stuff. So that's probably what I'll do when I get it done. So let me get this all wired up, and I'll bring you back and show you that. Welcome back once again. It is 6:44. It didn't take long to do this. You can see the efforts, the fruit of my efforts or labor or whatever you want to call that. Now this is obviously not the way to do this, wire nuts, but it does the trick for now. As you can see, I can turn it on. It does come on, and it's, like I said before, it goes up. Works just like it's supposed to work. And so now I have outputs at the top and the bottom. And I don't have it screwed in all the way yet. I've only got 3 screws holding that in. I'm going to have to put new screws in the bottom, or new screw holes I should say. As you can see, that's a different piece there on the bottom. So that won't work exactly the same way, but very happy with the way that's turned out. And again, that didn't take as long as I thought it would. I thought I would be spending most of the weekend doing this, and here it is still Thursday and I've got it done. So that's good because it allows me to get some other stuff done that I want to get done, like radios. We're all waiting for the radios to come along, and so am I. Couple of things. I want to get this out of the way. It's kind of in the way. When I say in the way, I mean for working on radios or whatever, it just kind of right there in the way. That's probably not a good thing, so we'll do that off camera, obviously. I'm just about out of my solder. I think, see, I bought a 1 pound spool caster, and I put, I don't know, I won't say half of it, but some of it on this so it would be easier to operate than that 1 pound roll, spool, whatever. But I think now it's probably manageable. I'll probably just use a spool from now on. But that's coming. next thing on my list to do, now that I have all this done, is to basically clean up a little bit in the area here, and I've got my soldering iron on. That's another thing I want to, you guys can see over here, I need to get that soldering iron either in a position where it's gonna be, or decide how I want to do it. I don't like this cord, for one thing. It gets in the way of everything, and I'm not happy about that. Obviously the one that hooks to the soldering iron itself has to be there, but the other one doesn't have to be. I think it could be routed behind there and hang down in the window well or something like that. Don't know for sure, but I know there's a better way of doing it than I'm doing it. And also I've got this these wires for the kilowatt and the dim bulb tester just strung over this to keep them out of the way for temporary. I need a better way of dealing with them as well. As you can see, I don't know if I showed you this, but I came up with a little bit different plug for this one than the old one that I had in there. The old one was from a drill that I had, and it was just a little bit stiff, and it was only 2 wires, and that's why I ran the separate ground wire over here. And so, like I said, I didn't like it that much, so I went ahead and put this on there. This I found in the box of wires, so I figured it would be perfect. It wasn't being used for anything else. So there's that. Rest of this I think is pretty much like it's going to be. Other than this, like I said, this will eventually get wired, and there will be a conduit underneath here. Oh yeah, it will go underneath there and come out to the end there, and once it gets to the end it'll go up to the switch bank that I will be putting there. I'm thinking this switch bank is going to be like a vertical switch bank, lined up that way, I think. I'm not even totally sure about that, but that's just some of the things I'm thinking about. So there's that. Like I say, I think that's about it. But anyway, the main goal for here today was to get this all done. Very happy with the way the Walwarts holder turned out. That thing is just perfect. There couldn't be any more perfect. You know, even though I messed it up, I was able to fix it pretty easy. So that's good too. Like I say, I'm probably going to finish putting some screws in the AC meter there, or AC panel meter, or AC panel, whatever you want to call that thing. I've called it the Variac panel. I've called it a lot of different things, but I need to get more screws in it than 3. I mean, it can be used, obviously, but I like it to have it a little bit more secure. I can't, you know, that's the funny thing about that is when I took that apart, I probably threw the screws in the box wherever I put it at. But they're nowhere to be found now, so I had to come up with new screws and put them all in. So I've got some of these dryer, I don't know if them are long enough though, but these were used on the original MFP. Those might work pretty good for that. So I might have to look into that a little bit. I don't know how well they'll hold in wood, but I guess I could find out and see. And they actually would look pretty good there because they're all the same. So, anywho, that's just a thought. I have a lot of thoughts. I had to kind of be careful about this one here. I couldn't go too long because I didn't realize it when I drilled it, but that's down pretty close. If I put the original screw I was going to put in there, it probably would hit that, and I didn't want to do that. So, anyway, got that done. These dryer screws wouldn't bother that at all, so I may try to use those. We'll see. I'm gonna, like I say, run a drill through here. I've got the real tiny drill bit to do that with. You can see there, and that'll put just enough of a pilot hole in to let the screw grab a hold of whatever is there and make its own way. So, all right, that's what we're gonna do. Like I say, I don't know that I'll bring you back for anything else. If I do, we'll go over that at that time. So. Good Friday evening to you all, YouTube. It is 8:04 now in the PM. I've had a busy day. I'm not going to belabor that though here now and tell you what went on, other than to say I've been working on, other than going to the doctor, I should say, this morning and mailed something at the post office, and then I stopped by CVS to pick up one prescription. Took over a half hour. Uh, that part was bad, but you know, it is what it is. I'll maybe do a flap on that, maybe for Wednesday. I don't know, we'll see. But if I do or don't, it doesn't matter. I wanted to show you these screws here, and you can see these are those dryer screws I had mentioned, you know, before, and they fit great in here. So all 6 or 8 of them, I guess, are in there, and like I said, they hold it really, really good, and they work out. They look good, and so I'm happy with that. And so I just kind of wanted to point that out to you all. Also, we'll go over here on the other side of the, what do you call it, and look around over here. Alright, there you are. I got you zoomed in a little bit. This is the other part. You remember I said something about gluing that? Well, I did that last night. I put some of the plastic glue up here in between these two, and basically I really didn't hold it or anything like that. There's enough pressure on it that held it against that and tightened it right up. So I'm happy about that. That's good. I mean, we put the piece on here. I think I'm only going to put a single screw here and here. There's no sense trying to put 4 screws on that narrow of a piece. 2 screws, I should hold that in just as well. So I do have these as well. Let me point you down here a little bit. I don't know if I pointed these out. I don't think I did. But there you can see these are in now. They are connected. So all this part is done. I've got the radio hooked back up. I had it unhooked while I was doing the other thing.
Just one COVID-19 test to take within 2 days of arrival.
So
in a tweet, Transport Secretary
it is working well. Happy with that. And got that going. Now, that's that. Everything on the MFP is working now as it should. And that part of it is pretty much done. Let me zip back here so we can... Anyway, everything is working now on the MFP, and so happy about that. Thinking very seriously about just putting a blank piece in here for now. Of course, I'll paint it. But other than that, I think because I can't make up my mind what I want to put in here now, I'm pretty sure I may do the USB thing here, because there seems to be enough space for that here pretty easily, and that would fit in there just, yeah, it would fit well. So those trying to decide about these dummy loads. Now I know somebody, or not somebody, I had said something about maybe using this case for them, but that would be kind of overkill just for those, I think. So I may come up with another way of doing it. But again, whoops, I keep hitting the boom. Again, that would be a good place for these as well. Even if I put the BDST, the BDST is only going to have an input and a volume control is all it's going to need. So there could be some, you know, things here for the dummy loads as well. That would kind of go along with that, I guess. You know, there are all kinds of ways I could do this. So just haven't decided yet on which way I want to do it. This one here is not going to be able to accommodate much more. That Variac is probably about that wide, and so it sticks pretty close to the front of this, and you know, you really can't get too much around it. So now up in here, the fuse where it's at, now this space here could be used for something, I guess, but I really don't want to mess that up. I think it's not too bad like it is. I think we'll just probably keep it like it is. So anywho, but again, I've got this space over here to this side, and this could be used for something. I still don't have this painted, by the way. I was going to do that the other day and forgot it. But so something could be there. So you know, there's just a few more spaces I'd like to put something in, but at the same time, I don't want to clutter this thing up so much that it's kind of a gaudy look. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care for that much, and so. Basically, I just want to put useful stuff in here that I know is going to be used for bench work, and that's what I want to do. It's one of the reasons I wanted to get that AC panel in, get that all operational, and I think I've done a pretty good job of it. I did get my soldering station wires routed better so that they're not in the way now, so that'll work out good, and everything over there is looking pretty good because I've got the I did manage to get this all back in here, get out of the way, so this stuff won't be there, but like I say, all that's pretty cleared out now. Might help if I straighten up the camera a little bit, wouldn't it? But again, that should be really nice, and again, I'm liking the way it's shaping up, really am. So that's coming together. I think it's time enough has passed to call this a video. Again, I probably will be doing a flap on the computer problems I've been having. So, you know, guys, you guys heard I got the new video card and things like that, but you really haven't heard a lot about it since then. And there's a reason for that, and I'll go into that on the computer flap. But I don't really like to do too many computer videos. They don't seem to be very popular on my channel. But again, at the same time, I want to explain some problems I did have and what I did to fix them and things like that. So, all right, that's going to do it. You guys have a great evening. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.